what did you implement in your project? Out of 10, one will say. Why? Because where are projects in this particular market? See, first thing, case study based education is not there in this market. Subject wise, just subject wise, that's all. So you are preparing subject wise. I don't say you don't get your job, but I really worry, can you keep your job? So your aim is to get your job, don't worry, you will definitely get. But your constructive aim should be, can you keep? So try to understand the combination of group by with the other thing. Therefore, group by is not equal to distinct. Distinct cannot do all these works. Are you catching the point now? Therefore, if anybody debates with you, group by and distinct are same. Don't worry, man. See, with everybody you don't need to discuss, debate and sit and go with the friction. When we are discussing something, we should have one thing in our mind. Is the other person who is discussing with me is having profile to be actually discussing with me or not? That's also very important. Therefore, if you feel inferior about yourself, you always feel somebody is more intelligent than you. That's why. Therefore, when we accept somebody is more intelligent, when we feel that we are not intelligent, simple. So some people, even if they are not intelligent, they will feel that they are more, that is overconfidence. No, for such people there is no. So what I am saying is introspective state. Therefore, always feeling that your wrong is wrong. You could be correct many times, but the other person, he knows how to dominate you, so he is suppressing you. Therefore, you will definitely find people who may say that distinct and group by is same. Let them say, you don't worry now. You don't need to sit with them and go and explain. Even if you explain for 1 year also, he will never believe you, because he is in that particular mind state that it is same. You can't change him now. Therefore, concept to the principle, syntax to the implementation are very different kind of experiences. That's the only reason when I started, I said group by and distinct are not same by outputs. Okay, because of outputs they are not same. They are different definitely. Where group by has such a lot of extension, group by has so many number of rules. Distinct has no rules as much as we have seen on group by. Now, there is a concept like groups have to be excluded. Groups have to be excluded in the sense, I want to go for something like, get me the information of employees with respect to the investment department wise, only when the number of employees recruited are more than 2 or more than 3, means your count should come for the filter, yes or no? So whenever you are filtering some data, the filter is a function by group. You cannot use where clause, you need to use having clause. I am finalizing our first level select statement totally now. With this we will finalize our select statement. Initially, whatever we need. On this we will play the game now in the coming chapters. So, the having clause is used to specify which groups have to be displayed, which groups should not be displayed. The job of this clause is to filter the data associated with group functions. Having clause can even filter single rows, but never do that. Don't do that. Having clause is designed by databases for a particular purpose. The purpose is filter by group functions. So, this is our first level final syntax to select statement. Now, this part of the select statement, point by point, what I said, if you are clear, our actual course, what we are targeting for industry will begin from next chapter only. All these days, what did we do? We started preparing to complete Oracle successfully to keep ourselves confidently into the industry. Means my raw material is closing. See, before we need to run a marathon, we should definitely warm up. That I can say our warm up is completed now. Marathon is about to begin. So, you want to run 20 kilometers, let us say. You never know what is running in your life. Early in the morning, one day you saw in the papers that there is a 20 kilometers run for the sake of some charity. You felt on that day like, let me do social service. And you went on the road like everybody is jogging on the road with some tracksuit and you stood there. 20 kilometers, you don't know actually how much it is. It's not like running. What is the running is somewhat faster than walking. That is what is the message you are having in your brain, that's all. You started running. 20k is not known to you actually. And after some time you felt that something is happening in your life. But for prestige, if you started running, most probably people may not see you after that. Half of the way your heart says that, gentlemen, I can't pump the blood anymore. Lungs will say that I can't take the air anymore. So you please see that you are leaving this world immediately. Therefore, I will run marathon. Before running marathon, start at least walking a mile. Understand what is running by a kilometer or 2 kilometers. Therefore, we are about to get into marathon now. So our preparations are closing. This is the select statement that will trouble us throughout our course now. Okay? How much it troubles her? Many people will run away. Okay? Whenever people are running away, you should understand they are in great trouble. They are running away. So, we will just close this process. This is its construct. After from clause, definitely where clause. And the last is always order by. In between the where and order by, group and having can be there. Group by should be first, having should be first is not a rule, any order, but it is always better grouping is first, having is next. So why? Optimizer order is that. If you change the order, optimizer rearranges once again. That is waste of time. Are you catching the point now? So according to the documentation, having can also be here and group by can also be here. But it's not a correct way to the performance and tuning methods. Are you catching the point now? So whenever the process of having clause and group by clause is coming, the order of the select statement should be clear to you. So first the rows are always grouped. On the grouped rows, the group function is implemented. On the implemented group functions of the grouped rows, having clause will work. This is the order now. Means having clause is working first or group is working first? Group is working first. Group function is working first or group is working first? Group is working first, then group function, then having. Are you catching the point now? That is order. Therefore, first or second query, when I execute, I will show you the steps that are happening. After that, you have to keep them in your mind and you have to work. So, whenever the having clause is coming, you want, having clause can precede group by clause, but it is more logical to declare it after the group by clause. Group by clause can be used without a group function in the select list. We have already seen this or no? When you are working in the construct, we have already seen that group function is not demanding group by is not demanding group function. They are independent. If you want, you can mix them. If rows are restricted based on the result of a group function, definitely you should go with what? Having clause. Here I am adding one more rule now. Group by clause can exist without having clause. But if having clause is coming into your select statement, group by should be there. Therefore, existence of group by clause does not guarantee the existence of having clause. But existence of having clause always demands the existence of group by clause. So these are very simple rules, man. On these rules, if you are very firm, I can definitely say that you can start up very quick with some things now. Now, these are the constructs you need to understand very specifically. Point by point. See, what you are doing is very simple, but you need to remember the rule, therefore you need to check the steps. Now, this having clause you watch, is it having a filter with group function or no?
Yes.
So, whenever you want to write a filter by group function, we always call which clause? Having clause. Now, when we execute this query, we get the result very quick. No doubts. Actually, I have how many groups? 3 3 groups of department number, but how many came out? 2 came out. Means one is missing. Means this having clause is filtering that now. But how it is happening, step by step you have to understand, okay? Now just watch the steps very carefully. You just check very carefully. First, this is not happening to your optimizer. Your optimizer is first working like this. It is going to the database server to get the department numbers from the EM. Are you catching me? Then, after it is coming down with the process of the department numbers, it is grouping the data. Okay, optimizer is grouping the data in the memory for that data. That's the second step. After the grouping has been conducted, then your optimizer is basically trying to implement the group function. Are you catching me? It is now calculating the group function on this group. So that is ready in the memory. But what is my function in the grouping? Average. Now what is my function in the having? Max. Therefore you should always remember, without your knowledge, Oracle is doing one more job. What is the job it is doing is, select department number comma max of sal from EMP, group by department number. This is happening in the memory. So always remember one thing, this group function will follow the groups in the group file. So Oracle is calculating department wise maximum. In the memory it's doing this job. Now 10th department maximum is taken. How much it is? 5,000. That 5,000 is placed here. Are you catching the point now? 5,000 is greater than 2,900. True or false? Absolutely true. That is the only reason 10th department average is displayed for you. Now, it is taking the 20th department's maximum salary. It is here. True or false? True. Therefore, you saw department number 20 average on your screen. Then 30th department maximum salary is taken and it is substituted here. It is true or false now? False. Therefore, even though 30th department average was calculated, it was not displayed because the condition of having failed. Therefore, remember one thing, having clause is not making the calculation stop. Having clause only filtering. Before having, calculations of aggregation have already completed. Are you catching the point now? So students generally think that because of having clause, these calculations are first completed, then filtered. Are you catching the point now? Don't say like first filtered, then calculations are. Where clause is different, having clause is different. Are you catching the point now? So whenever you work out, you have to always understand the system is operating on those steps. Therefore, when your interviewer is asking questions here, definitely you will never know he is expecting a combination of this. This is one topic I will tell you, man. You may not believe me, 30% students in interview room, we will filter them in this topic immediately. Because here we ask questions in pure English format and many number of students, they don't know how to present it. Converting the English statement into select statement. Because interviewer never uses any terms that are equal to your SQL. He uses pure business terms. Right on the question. Calculate department-wise average investments. Calculate department-wise average investment. Calculate department-wise average investment only when the highest investment of department crosses only when the highest investment on department process, only when the highest investment on department process 2,900. Only when the highest investment on department process 2,900. Okay? If you just watch the question, I don't think he's giving you any hint like group by department number and he's saying maximum of salary is greater than 2,900, nothing. That's how he can definitely keep you into a state of confusion. Be very clear about that. Are you catching me? Now the same way, let us go to the next one. Once again for our convenience, I am trying to go with the process very properly to check how exactly it's working. First you watch. This is what is happening. Are you catching me? First this is what is happening. It gets you all the jobs from the database. Then after getting all the jobs from the database, definitely you should understand that it is first filtering the where clause. So by where clause, it is removing all the patterns that are matching to sales. So that pattern is totally lost. After this has been done, it is grouping. It's grouping of this data now. So on this data, when it is grouping, it gets 4 groups. Are you catching me? After getting these 4 groups, it is actually trying to calculate the sum of those groups. So before having clause, what is happening? Group function calculations are completed. Are you catching the point now? After that having clause will work. So here coincidental, what you are calculating here, what you are filtering here, both functions are same. Therefore you just watch, 6,000 is analyst salary in investment. It is posted here. 6,000 is greater than 5,000. It should come or it should not come? It should come. So let us just finalize this query output and make a cross comparison. Okay? Watch carefully. These 2 people are coming finally. So if you just watch carefully, 6,000 is greater than 5,000, true. So that group should come or it should not come? It should come. Then clerk's investment is how much? 4,150. 4,150 is greater than 5,000. True or false? False. Group is calculated, but group is not displayed. Are you catching the point now? Next, manager. Manager is 8,275. 8,275 is greater than 5,000. True or false? True. Therefore, manager is displayed. Then we are having the president, 5,000. 5,000 is greater than 5,000. True or false? False. 5,000 means president was calculated, but it was not presented. Are you understanding the stages of your having clause by how it's working? Even if your query is the toughest and the biggest, the rules will never change. You don't catch the rule of the architecture and you blindly start working, then only you will get confused. So, major number of times students say, sir, I am not understanding how this is coming. You can't understand directly. You have to understand these individual steps very properly. But no having clause is working in one step. Understand this. Are you catching the point? That stage of execution should be clear to you. Once the stage of execution is clear, nobody in the world can stop you from the process. Right on the question. Calculate designation-wise overall investments. Calculate designation-wise overall investments. Calculate designation-wise overall investments. Only when the overall investment the overall investment to the designations only when overall investment to the designation crosses 5,000. Overall investment to the designation crosses 5,000, excluding designations having sales pattern. Excluding designations having sales pattern. You see the way he is using these terms of English is not at all trying to give you any hint. Designation wise overall investment. And is very clear saying that basically only when it contains overall investment and designation crossing 5,000, not greater than or more than, is not at all trying to use any of the terms that can give you hints to that particular execution way. Therefore, always be careful. If your interviewer who is sitting in front of you is an expert in SQL, is an expert in theory of RDBMS, is also a guy who is very, very clear with respect to the standards of English, is having business and domain knowledge of applications, your life is very critical with him. Why? Because the gentleman never asks you questions directly from the books anywhere. He will put the question from his experience directly. Then you are in trouble. Therefore, my examples you should not by heart. Yet always catch the example by its concept and get prepared and move on. 1,000 times I told you, I am once again repeating on that. Now the next thing you just want, sir, along with the groups, how many group functions I can have? All these questions, I don't think they are correct at this stage now. You can have your A clauses with exclusions or inclusions, that's up to you. And your grouping is happening in the same construct, I can say. So now, I don't think I need to go with step-by-step analysis. So, when you are getting through this, it is giving you department-wise minimum and maximum investments only to the clerks. Where the least investment is below 1,000 by departments. In department, within the department, where the least investment is less than 1,000. Okay, write on the question. Get the department-wise highest and lowest investments. Get the department-wise highest and lowest investments only to the clerks. Only to the clerks. Only when least investment the department is. Only when least investment the department is. Only when least investment the department is below 1,000. Only when the least investment of the department is below 1,000. Okay? Let us just check through this. Few more just to keep you in confidence. See, here I am catching department-wise investments, no doubts. But I think I am using my count function here, yes or no? So the only thing what we are saying is, such a departments with investments where number of employees recruited are more than 3. Okay? In 10th department we have exactly 3 employees. Therefore, it's not coming in the outputs. Right on the question. Calculate the overall investments on departments. Calculate overall investments on departments. Calculate overall investments on departments. Only when the number of employees recruited to the department, only when the number of employees recruited to the department, only when the number of employees recruited to the department cross more than 3. Cross more than 3. Cross more than 3. Okay? Now, let us just go over one more case. So, how many number of group functions I can have here? But I have military. There is no rule now. Okay, already I have shown you with your minimum and maximum. The same concept I am speaking on the process. But the only thing I just want to speak on the issue is, here if 2 functions are there in the projection, that doesn't mean that you should filter definitely by 2 functions compulsory. There is no rule. Are you getting the point now? Just make it. Just write on the question. Calculate department wise average and overall investment. Calculate department wise average and overall investment only when the department's average investment crosses 2,500. Crosses 2,500. Okay? So this is the only department where this is basically crossing. You can just check it if you want for cross verification. So if you just watch in these 3 cases, this is less than 2,500 or not. So verification is also easily possible. Be very clear about that. Now a group can contain only 1 column or it can contain multiple columns. The same way, when you come to having clause can be written with respect to multiple groups in the group by clause. Are you catching me? Now here the question that arises is, sir, average of salaries working on department number or average of salaries working on job now. It's not either on department number or job, it is to the combination of department number and job. Therefore, having clause always follows which clause? Group by clause. See, by group by clauses, multiple columns having is also multiple. So the rule here is only when average investment department wise, job wise is crossing 2,500. On the group it works. In combination, are you catching the point now? Therefore, every rule we said to the group by, it is just extended by filtering through. Just be very clear about it. Are you catching the point? Therefore, if having clause is working, thinking that it works only to 1 column in the process wrong, individually for both the columns is wrong. Together, not individually. Are you catching the point now? Write in the question. Calculate average and overall investment. Calculate average and overall investment. Calculate average and overall investment in combination to department and jobs. In combination to department and jobs. In combination to department and jobs only when average investment in the department and job combination, average investment in the department and job combination, average investment in the department and job combination is crossing 2,500. Is crossing 2,500. Okay? So, once the concept is clear to you, filters are not problem. You don't give your concept clear and you try to get into the questions. You won't watch, all these questions, the interviewer is taking maximum care to see that he is not using words called as sum, average directly, he is not using job, he is not using department numbers, he is not using group by anywhere, he is not using having anywhere, he is using only pure English logistics. Your concept is not clear when the questions like this are coming and you will get confused even though you know all these things. They will keep up your preparations very different through the process. Now it's very specifically important, spend your time more, I'm telling you. Now, so can a having clause have multiple filters where we can have where clause with what? And operators and or operators and all these things. Yes or no? So the same question a general user may get, thinking that, sir, can I have having clause with? Definitely yes. Watch carefully. Having average salary greater than 2,500 and I am saying sum of sal. Are you catching me? I am saying greater than 2,850. Any number of conditions we can apply and we can work. Are you getting the point now? There is no specific rule, only one. Your and operator, or operator, between and, in, everything can come here. Therefore, having is ready for any operator, but the only thing is group function filter, that's all. Because of group function filter, you don't need to remove anything else. Are you giving the point very clear? Now you just watch very specifically. We are trying to go with the composition, and I am just trying to say, and I can say count of star is greater than 1. Only analysts are more than 1. Because in all other departments, whenever you consider, in 20 departments we have 2 analysts at a place. The who says that having clause should not have more than 1 condition? These conditions can be between and, in operator, less than, greater than, or operator, whatever it is, your requirement should be studied, that's it. So, logistically, I don't say grouping is complicated, group function is complicated, having is complicated. But when you're practicing, if you don't catch the rules what I told you and you practice, what happens is, an error comes, you'll just lose your track. And major number of times you'll never get any of these doubts also. Why? You follow the materials blindly. In material, we don't have any mistakes in the query. And another wonderful thing of this market, I'll tell you. There may be some errors in the material or no. Yes. The best way is what now? Give source code to the student. See, if I give the source code to the student and the student is typing the data, let us say, sincerely student works sincerely, but we spoil the match. So, he will be typing the query from the book and he will get an error. Then he will come, sir, I am getting error. Then we will simply say, okay, whenever you get an error, use my source code. So, sincerely what student will do is he will download the source code and copy and paste it, error will not come. So, what the student will do is he will correct the material immediately. So actually came to America to learn Oracle, but he becomes a person who will correct the material of Oracle. Another skill developed in his life. So the best way is what now? If any error is there in the material, give the source code to the student. And tell her, if any error is there, you don't need to come to me, type my source code, it will work. Student will type the source code, he is very happy. Sir's example is correct now. My example is correct or not, you don't need to worry. When you are putting it properly or not, you should be worried. We always have only one thing in our mind. Be very clear. How quick we can complete your course. That will be the process. So, you don't fall into our business now. Your business is to practice very seriously and get your jobs and keep your jobs. If you don't do it properly from your side, problems will not come now, I'm telling you. The nightmares of Oracle are waiting for us. We have not yet started anything until now, I can tell you. We are only standing on the shore of the sea and we are just trying to enjoy yourself to the waves that are about to come. Okay, once you keep your leg into the sea, you know what is its fury and it will pull you outside or inside, you will know that. Okay, so let me see how many people will synchronize with me in another 2 weeks. In just another 1 week, I will come to know who are correct students in this batch expecting job in databases. So, the running away process will begin now only, you wait and check. So, if we speak in functions, we are closed. But there are few simple things I will finalize so that we can have a fresh operation tomorrow when we start up with a new chapter. Okay? So functions can be nested or they cannot be nested. They can be nested. I think you're already aware of nesting. But in group functions we have few rules. The rules are, first rule, group functions cannot be nested for more than 2 levels. Okay? Group functions should not be nested for more than 2 levels. That is first rule. Always remember that. Okay? Second rule. Whenever nesting of group functions is done, definitely group by clause should be there. Are you catching the rule? Whenever nesting of group functions is done, definitely group by clause should be there. Half an hour back what we were saying? Whenever group function is there, group by clause need not be there. Okay? So, when I am speaking, you should be more careful with every word from now onwards. So, when student is listening, definitely no doubt, is listening in such a way that when nesting of group functions is done, group by clause should be there. I am saying when nesting of group functions, nesting of, he was sleeping. He wake up when I said group function is there, group by clause should be there. He will get confused. Half an hour back this gentleman said, when group function is there, group by clause is not there. He is telling now, group function is there, group by clause should be there. Gentlemen, you were sleeping when I was said nesting of. Okay? Therefore, even a second of distraction of your brain, rule changes, remember that. Okay? You cannot come and tell me later on, sir, I was looking into my friend's face now. Who told you to look? Stop looking. Okay? So, I was thinking something else, sir. Who told you to think? Don't think. Oracle. Okay? Only think in oracle. So, definitely I can catch you when you come with your basic doubts. I am very, very clear to that's what I say. For many students, they ask me, sir, I have a doubt. When he is asking the doubt, I can catch why he is asking that he was not one. I will say, rewind and listen to anything if you have recorded. So you have to check. Therefore, the next rule I am making very clear. When nesting of group functions is done, group by clause is definite. Third, the column that is kept in the group by clause. The third rule is very specific. The column that is kept in the group by clause, when it is nesting of group functions, should not be in the projection. It should not be in the projection. Almost all rules are reversing on what we said half an hour back. This is how, when you read your book, select Oracle documentation, one page speaks in one way, you turn the page, it speaks in another way. Student is confused between both the pages now. And now, see, general tendency of a human being, I am not understanding anything. What's the best thing, man? Don't do that. Best thing of a human being, don't do that. And tell useless technologies nobody can understand. We don't confess and accept that I am not understanding. We say nobody can understand. And in this market you will have wonderful association, I will tell you. You are telling that nobody can understand this topic. 10 people you will find who say that only. And all 10 people will become one gang now. Okay? Gang of Oracle can never be understood by anybody. And these people will be there, and they have a Facebook account for themselves actually. And these all people will say, people against the Oracle. Okay? Their Facebook page will be there, and they will be writing. And one time will put it in that. Did you understand this any time in Oracle? And 1,000 likes will be there. I did not understand. And you will join in that. You will become one more person in the world. That's it. What I say is, the general tendency is, I did not understand. The introspective state is, in which corner I am not understanding, and do the job till you understand. Very, very important. Therefore, when you don't understand something, you should spend more time on it. And you should have less irritation on that. Remember that, okay? You increase your irritations, you can't do anything. So, please start up with the rules. These are 3 major rules. Are you getting my point now? Yes. First rule is what? Nesting cannot be more than 2 levels. Second rule is,
if nesting is there,
group by clause should be there.
If
Third is, column in the group by should not be part of the projection. These three rules are definite. Are you catching the point now? And there is one suggestion. The suggestion is, whenever nesting of group functions is done, it is always more logical. Okay, I'm giving you a point very clear. It is always more logical to keep maximum or minimum functions as outer functions and any other group functions as inner functions. It's only a suggestion because logically that is correct. So if I keep average or some function as outer functions, will there be no error will come, but logically there is no meaning. Because whenever nesting of group functions is done, more logical is keeping maximum and minimum functions as outer functions and any other functions as inner functions. If you remember these things, it's enough. Be very clear about that. Now, why we need nesting of group functions? That should be the rule actually. See, we can do nesting of group functions is not great, but why we need that? That you should understand by a situation once again. You just watch carefully, you are just coming along with me, man. Okay, I am saying department number, comma, I am saying sum of sal from EMP group by department number. Okay, now when we are going with this is what is a grouped investments. This is one set of data. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Now I want to know in this set which is the highest and which is the lowest. This is atomic data or it is aggregated data? Aggregated. That is not originally as it is in the database. But that data is not originally as it is in the database. How your group function can work on this like maximum and minimum. So first what is your job? Calculate the summary and then apply the maximum and minimum. That's so simple. Are you catching the point now? Therefore, now I want you to check one more issue. Very specific calculation from your side now. I am just going with maximum of sum of sal. Okay? Now, just forget that for some time. Sum of salary by group by department number. How many granules?
3 granules.
Come on.
3 granules.
3 granules. On those 3 granules you have placed maximum. It becomes how many granules?
1 granule.
1 granule. So finally this becomes 1 granule. Showing that 10,875 is the maximum investment on summaries by departments. Now you are trying to keep this here. This is how many granules?
3
granules because group by is department number. But single granule to multi-granule failure. So when nesting of group functions is taking place, this group by clause is already engaged in the inner function. It's already engaged. Because it's already engaged in the inner function, the overall is becoming how many granules now? 1 granule. Because of that, if you give single row columns, it will not work. Are you understand the reasons why we should not use? Sir, I want to know which department is having this maximum investment. I think our Oracle course is not yet completed, yes or no? We are waiting for that only. Okay? So whatever is not possible now, we have to see in the coming days very seriously. But that all this preparation is very important. So, nesting of group functions is not complicated. Okay, we don't look into the rules, it's definitely complicated. So, watch here once again, you're coming along with me once again. I am saying sum of sal, comma, average of sal. Okay, now I am going with John. Now I am saying from EMP. Shall I keep group by or I need not keep group by?
Should keep.
I have to keep group by because I am having what? Job. And then